Welcome back to the Process Sport. That was your boy Tony. I'm back with another video, man. If I can tell AJ, teacher, go to golf. I got right now. Hope guys open door play for all guys you need play, man. Today's video, I will be reacting to Rivera's media session today. We'll talk. I think talk about quarterbacks, some other stuff. I saw stuff that John Kahn tweeted, but I'm gonna react to it. I'm gonna kind of skim through it. I'm not gonna probably listen to the whole thing, but let's get right into it. Let's spend some time see what Ron's talking about after the Washington Commanders tie the New York Giants 2020 yesterday.
Well, I kind of hoping we get Saturday. I mean, you know, we have to travel all the way across country. 49ers are coming off a Thursday game. It'd be nice to be able to be rested, but you play what they tell you to play. So we'll line up and play, see what happens.
Jonathan Allen was telling us about kind of the importance of the game and getting the fans out there. I know that's obviously been a cost for you the last few years. How do you feel about this opportunity in particular?
Well, I think this opportunity is awesome. I really do. First of all, it's the national stage. It is the big stage. You know, one-third of the U.S. population is on the eastern seaboard, and so we know they'll all be tuned in. Secondly, it'd be awesome to have a great turnout. I think we're working towards that. We're training in that direction. I'm pretty fired up for our guys. I really am, just because we have guys that deserve some exposure, and this is about as big a stage as we've been on since the Monday night game or the Thursday night game we played. And you know, this is a great opponent for us. You know, they matched us on Sunday, and so it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, we're pretty even, so it'll be a fun night. I really do look forward to it.
Look for a dub too.
Hey, Ron, when it comes to Taylor in that Giants game, how do you measure the evaluation of maybe the first three quarters versus the end?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I thought he had a lot more quality quarters than just the end of the game. I really do mean that too. I thought, you know, the first quarter was outstanding. There were a couple things in the
first quarter was outstanding. I don't know about what the heck he's talking about after the first quarter, Ron. Elaborate, sir.
Second quarter, I know he wished he had his back, but I thought he did a couple things. Third quarter, he did struggle a little bit.
Okay,
but
I'm glad he made it.
Taylor, you know, and he does what he does. He plays the way he plays, JP. I just think you take the good with the bad. But I think that's true for a lot of quarterbacks. I don't think there's a whole bunch of guys that are out there that aren't making a mistake every now and then. So I got there. I was pleased with the things he did, and I was pleased with the way the guys played.
And looking ahead to 2 Sundays from now, the O-line injury is starting to stack up again. How concerned are you? How much can this extra time off help?
Well, I think the extra time off is going to help an awful lot. I mean, we got a number of guys that are going to be on the list of our injury updates when I get that at 4 o'clock, I believe it is. That's when I have our meeting. So we'll get an opportunity to find out exactly where we are health-wise with everybody. Mm-hmm. That'll be cool to see. But I know that this week will be a good rest week for our players. An opportunity for them to take care of themselves, get themselves right, and see what happens as they prepare for this stretch of 4 games left to go.
Yes, sir.
Right. Happening, Ron, is there any temptation or thought of going to Carson and trying to spark an offense that seems a little stuck in that kind of 20-point neighborhood?
Not necessarily, Pete. I think that this is who we are. I mean, that's how we play. We're running the ball right now well. We're controlling the time of possession. We're keeping our defense fresh. And there's some things obviously that could help. But
Ron's too scared to go back to Carson. You can hear in his voice. He don't want to go back to Carson. He's too scared. But he's scared that we'll start losing games again, and he'll get all the criticism for it. Obviously, but continue.
I think right now, for where we are and who we are, I think we're in a good spot. I really do.
And do you still view it as a week-to-week decision where Carson could be inserted at some point, or do you feel comfortable with Taylor now that you've got this 4-week stretch here to finish up?
Well, I feel comfortable with Taylor, but when Carson's activated, he will be the primary backup, and we'll go from there.
Rory, how can you continue developing the passing offense?
Practice. I mean,
he should throw Carson back in there. I will throw Carson back in there, not because Taylor hasn't done a great job I think he's done a decent job at times, but you need more out of your passing offense in this. This is not good enough. This isn't good enough. I think Taylor can take it up a gear, but he started 7 games, and I haven't seen that gear yet. I saw that gear in game 2 last year with Taylor Heinicke. I saw the gear hit a lot quicker than now. The gear kind of hit in the end of the game, but that's it. The gear hasn't hit yet for Taylor. Taylor has another gear to his game. We just haven't seen it yet. And you're continuing to win games or continue to tie games, then you don't need to switch. But I think eventually Carson should play.
I mean, that's really the only thing we can do, Sam, is any opportunity we can to throw it in the game, we do. We try to throw it at the opportune moment.
Now, if Taylor kicks in that second gear I'm talking about, you keep Wentz around the bench. I have no problem with it. He has to kick in that gear, though, eventually. Because I don't care if Brock Purdy is the starting quarterback now for the Niners. I don't care. It's Kyle Shanahan's an offensive genius. They'll be fine. The Cleveland Browns, they can run the ball, control the clock like we can. They have a way better quarterback. And when he gets it going, it's going to be a problem. And then we know the problems that Dallas poses for us. Don't you want a better quarterback in there? But we're winning games. I don't want to pull Taylor because that's what's wrong. You don't pull a guy who's winning football games. So I get what Ron. I get the conundrum Ron is going through.
The right moments, and that's really what the passing game should be. Is when you need to use it.
That's a defensive coach talking. This is an offensive league, Ron Rivera. It's an offensive league.
Use it. If it's part of the flow of the game, then it's part of the flow of the game. I think for the most part, that's the thing that helps us is that as we're running it, it takes a lot of the pressure off to have to throw it. We can throw it when we want to throw it. We can use whatever action we want if we put ourselves in that position. I do know, obviously, that if you are playing a high-powered offense and they score early, you got to be able to match it, and that's one of the things that we have to be able to do. And I think we can. I think we have enough of the playmakers. If we get the balls in their hands, we can make plays.
Ron, generally,
what have you seen on tape either yesterday or in the past that gives you that confidence that if you guys do need to pass and kind of keep up with that high-powered offense that you can?
I think because of some of the stuff that we left on the table. Left out on the field. I mean, and
that's on the quarterback, Ron. That is on Taylor Heinicke. He has to kick up his game. Period.
And I've said that before. It's how close we are. That gives you reason.
Don't give me that Bruce Allen crap.
Reason to be optimistic. And if you sit down and get an opportunity to go through the tape and talk with, somebody in the know, as they sit there and talk about, oh, look at this opportunity here. This is something that could have happened. When I watch tape, I try to figure out what the defensive coverage is, and then I look at where I think the ball should go. And most of the time, that's where we're headed. I'm seeing it like our guys are. Then as you see certain things that we miss, whether it's the throw is missed or the route could have been better, or we just didn't have enough time with the protection. Those are all things that we have to work on and hone up for that moment. That when we do have to score, can we do it? I thought that drive in the that 92-yard drive, I thought at the end of the game to score the touchdown, kind of shows what we can do if we can get the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
Ron, generally, the last.
It's a great sneak preview. It's not been consistent. It needs to be more consistent. Scott Turner needs to be better calling plays. Taylor needs to be better playing complete games. And the offensive line has to be better. Offensive line was putrid yesterday. Trash.
Your bye weeks to kind of evaluate everything, but with it so late in the year, and you guys already kind of have an identity, what we kind of use this week for? Or how do you kind of approach it?
Extend on your identity.
I think the big thing, Matthew, is an opportunity to take a look at some of the areas that we have not been as efficient.
Red zone.
In some situations.
Red zone.
Some red zone stuff, some third down.
There you
stuff,
go.
Perhaps.
There you go.
Some short yardage stuff that we can take a really good long look at.
Okay, Ron.
and just see. You know, for the coaches, it'll be an opportunity to evaluate. But the best part more than anything else is, you know, a lot of the stuff has been looked at, like you said, and you know, as we get into it, it's really about who we're getting ready for next. We got the Giants, obviously, and then after that, you know, we've got 3 more games that, you know, that are just as important. But we got to be ready for the Giants, and I think that's a lot of the time will be spent. We'll review a couple things, talk about a few things, and then we'll go from there.
And your options on the offensive line, you used Les Schweitzer at center earlier in the year, but you went with Nick yesterday. Is that something that you see if Tyler can't go?
Well, I think part of it was due to the injury stuff that we had to deal with. So again, you know, we got a whole week and a half to prepare. We can make that decision as we get closer.
Hey, Ron, you said the other day that the turf in New York would not be, or in New Jersey would not be a factor with regards to Chase's situation, and obviously he didn't play. Does that mean that just physically you guys just don't think he's ready to go, or his confidence isn't there yet that you need to see?
I think the biggest thing, Ben, more so than anything else, is that with the way we're playing right now, and we're playing pretty well on the defensive front, the need to get him on the field hasn't been that you got to have him out there. We need it.
So why don't you shut him down? If you don't need him out there, why are you trying to press him to play? Shut him down. We don't need Chase Young this year at all. We're fine. We're fine. Depends on Montez Sweat's concussion. Barring that, we don't need Chase this year. If Tez can go week 15, we're fine. We don't need to play Chase this year. Chase can go sit his butt down and have a full off season to fully heal.
It was a must. This is one of those things that because of our guys are playing well, we can get him back when he's 100% ready to roll. And that's the biggest thing. We don't want to put him out there, you know, when he's not ready and feeling it. I know he's close. I really do. And again, I think the big thing for him, more so than anything else, is just continue to do what he needs to do. And we'll see how he is next week. But again, it's, you know, putting the guy out there when he's ready 100%, or as close to possible as it can be. But I do know, again, we've been doing some pretty good things with the guys we have out there. You know, yes,
y'all have.
Guys get nicked up as well. And we'll see how they are the next couple of days. But I'm pretty optimistic going forward for next week.
I'll let one of my great colleagues ask you a follow-up on that, but I wanted to slip in a completely random topic. Jake Fromm, obviously he's been just kind of the practice squad and is a guy that had a big college career. What have you kind of noticed from him being around with you guys all this time?
Oh, tremendously smart football player. Young man's got a.
Why are we talking about Jake Fromm? Get this question on my face. Skip to the next question. Get out of there. I don't hear that crap.
It's really good.
Hey, Ron, going to that, Ron.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You'll go ahead, Nick. I'll go after you.
The defense, you know, against Atlanta, Mariota, I think he picked up 49 rushing yards. Daniel Jones had about 71. What is it about some of these quarterbacks, and is that something you guys are working on to kind of shore up there?
Yeah, we are. I think, again, I thought the halftime adjustments were pretty good again. You know, we pretty much gave up a couple hundred yards in the first half, and then the second half we only gave up like 111 or something like that, 112, I think it was. And one of the things that, you know, obviously it's hard to defend the quarterback all the time. And that's the thing that we have to continue to work on, and I know we do. I know some of it sometimes, and probably the biggest one they got us, they came out and they looked like they were running some sort of screen, and that kind of also was a fake off of one of the jet sweeps. And one of our guys in the middle got a little too nosy and left his responsibility, and that was the big one Daniel ripped off against us. And that's something that we have to be aware of, even more so just because the value of the quarterbacks running the ball. I think, again, we made some good adjustments, came out in the second half, and we limited that. But, again, if we can just make sure we're good with it from the beginning, it will most certainly limit the impact that the quarterback running will have against us.
And then going back to Chase, what is still missing in your mind? What do you need to see?
Well, I think again, as we go through it, it's just making sure he can put that leg in the ground with confidence and be able to protect himself when he has to. Be willing to stick it out in front to protect on a cut block or somebody coming down at his knee. I mean, those are all things that you have to get. But the biggest thing, more than anything else, Nicky, is because of this injury and because of the way that the doctor has described it to us, is the only real way for him to get any true work on this is now out on the field. And now that we're in the peak of the season, it's one of those things that you can't mimic what he's going to get out there in the game. And so he's just got to continue to work at it, build that confidence. And again, I know one thing is the severity of the injury wasn't divulged, surely, mostly because they didn't want it divulged. But as it got out there, I think you understand that this was more than just your normal knee injury. This involved a little bit more. And that's why I think the rehab has been a little bit more. And so he's really come a long way. He looks good. And now it's just a matter of, as he's ready to go, we'll get him out there.
And just to clarify, is it, in your mind, is it?
I think that's enough. So my quick reaction to all this, my quick analysis. If Chase doesn't play next week, week 15 versus the Giants, shut him down. I'm tired of the whole when's Chase going to play? Just shut him down. It's a waste. It's a waste of a question. Waste of bull crap. Just shut him down. He's getting close. He's been getting close for like almost a month. I'm tired of hearing that. Next, as for the whole Carson Taylor thing, he's wrong with Taylor. That's what that's telling me. They don't really trust Taylor as much as they're saying, because why didn't he throw the ball in overtime when you tried to win the football game, when you settled for a tie? So that's telling me your words are not telling what your actions are telling me. But they're wrong with Taylor. The Taylor Heinicke has this team 5-1-1 with him as a starter. There's no reason why to change. So they're going to keep going with that. But I do think Carson will eventually play just because of the ceiling that the offense, it needs to unlock another ceiling. Unless Heinicke goes out there and starts scoring 25, 27 points a week, which he can do. He can do that. He's quite capable. He's not capable of doing that. We just need to see it. So hopefully see it soon. That would be great. But that's going to do it for me. What are your thoughts on Rivera, talking about Chase Young and what adjustments they need to make? The adjustment versus the zone read. Also, Ron talking about Carson and Taylor and having Carson be the primary backup when he's returning, which would be QB2. And they'll probably just put Sam Howell back on the inactive list whenever he's activated. At this point, I don't think they're going to activate Carson. I started to rethink about it. But if he's the primary backup, he'd be one play away from playing. So Taylor did get a little nicked in that game. I saw him hurt his hand a little bit. He should be fine, though. But we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the season. I don't want to win games. I don't care if it's Taylor Heinicke. I don't care if it's Carson Wentz. I don't care if it's Sam Howell. I don't care if it's Ron Rivera quarterback. Just win games. So like, comment, subscribe. Tying the Giants kind of sucks, but it's not a loss. So we're going to have to keep chucking it, and hopefully we can continue to stack up the wins like bricks on these last 4 and at least win 3 of them and make the playoffs. Till then, be easy. Have a great one, guys. Put God first. Save this COVID and this monkeypox. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive. Most points, stay blessed. All remember, even if you're not the most athletic or talented sport choice, non-professional, on the field, technically sound, you will always overcome with the talent. Let's support hard dedication, man. Protect financial goals. Have a great one, guys. Ron, get this team together. Let's go win some. Let's get these dubs, and let's get this thing going, y'all. Man, it's the home stretch, baby. Bye week. Peace.